Well, hello out there, and welcome to another episode of Guitar Chat with attorney Steven Rubin. I'm attorney Steven Rubin, a business, nonprofit, and tax attorney in Santa Monica, California. And this is Guitar Chat. Well, let's see. I grew up the son of a Laker fan. I feel like I could make a little play on that song by Dusty Springfield, Son of a Preacher Man. Dun 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 dun. Was the son of a Laker fan. Well, that's me. I was the son of a Laker fan. I grew up in a Laker household. My father, Ed, Pop, as I would affectionately call him, later on, was as big a Laker fan as I ever met. He never missed a game on TV. He didn't go to the games a lot. He worked hard and time trouble, and it's hard to always have your slice of chocolate cake and non-fat milk over ice ready and available to you then it was at the Forum. But I'll tell you, and after they invented TiVo, he would TiVo the game, and everybody who knew my father knew that you do not tell Ed the score of the game if you know it before he gets a chance to watch it. That was a felony. Let's just leave it at that. But just a huge Laker fan, grew up. His, as I recall, his idol was Jerry West, right? The Logo, as he's come to be known. And of course, on those teams, Jerry West and Elgin Baylor and Wilt the Stilt, the Big Dipper himself, Wilt Chamberlain. And oh gosh, we used to listen to those games when I was a kid, and I'd cry after the Celtics would beat the Lakers again in the finals. But I had so much fun, and it was a great way to spend time with my father. And then along came Magic Johnson, and Magic and Kareem and all that, and that seemed to bring a lot of championship banners and parades to Los Angeles, and my father sure loved him some Magic. The great Magic Johnson, who in my humble opinion is the greatest basketball player that ever lived. And no one has or ever will, I think, run a fast break the way Magic did. And then, as if, we had a little dry spell after that, and then, of course, Kobe and Shaq showed up. And my father got to watch more championship banners get hung at the ceiling and more parades. And boy, that was the golden eras of Laker basketball. So, then the news about this guy. I think you may have heard of him. LeBron James. Well, and LeBron James gets traded to Los Angeles. We lost my father back in 2013, so he wasn't aware of that, at least not that I'm aware of. But if he knows about this, up in heaven where he's sitting in his recliner with his piece of chocolate cake and his glass of non-fat milk over ice watching these games, well, I got to tell you, I know that Cheshire Cat grin he would get. And I'm sure were he alive when we got LeBron, that Cheshire Cat grin would have just been permanently pasted to his face, and all you would have had to say was the word LeBron James, and he would light up like a Christmas tree. And it would have been fun to share all that with him. But alas, Dad didn't get to see that, at least not while he was alive. But here he is. There he is. Here, Pop, this is for you. This guy, here he is, LeBron, doing what he does, about to dunk for a basket. In this case, it looks like against the Utah Jazz. I don't have to say much about LeBron. I don't think there's many people in the known universe that don't know who LeBron is and what he does. I'm sure there's a handful of them out there, but I still have time to get the news. So I thought, in honor of LeBron's coming to LA and my father, to Pop, another thing Pop loved, when my mother passed, my father, for reasons that I'll never understood, decided that he couldn't stop listening to the music of Jim Croce. Jim Croce, a remarkable singer, songwriter, and performer. But I just didn't see that coming from a guy that, to my knowledge, had purchased 2 records in his life. One was Charlie Parker and the other Ella Fitzgerald, two jazz giants, of course. But I didn't get the connection to Jim Croce, but that's what happened. And he would just lie on the couch and he'd sit there listening to the Jim Croce's records start to finish. Anyway, so in honor of that, I thought I'd close out this episode of Guitar Chat with a little Jim Croce. I'm not sure this is the song he would have chosen, but I got to play what I know. Got its hustlers, the Bowery's got its bums. 42nd Street's got Big Jimmy Walker, he's a pool shooting son of a gun. He's as big and dumb as a man can come, but then he's stronger than a country horse. And when bad boys all get together at night, they all call Big Jim boss. Yes, Big Boss. You don't tug on Superman's cape, you don't speed into the wind, You don't pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger, and you don't mess around with you. Well, thank you for joining me on this episode of Guitar Chat. Hopefully we'll get to see LeBron and his teammates and everyone else back doing what they do soon. And I'm thinking about you, Pop. I hope we get another banner here in LA soon. Thank you for watching this episode of Guitar Chat.